Happy Wednesday evening to you. I cannot believe it's Wednesday already. This week just flying by. I hope it is for you as well. If you're working, 5 days a week, I hope it's going fast. But if you're on vacation, I hope it's going slow. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wentz. We've got a lot to talk about in this forecast. A real decent winter storm. This is going to be a doozy of a storm. But is it going to be locally here? No, most of it's going to be east of here. We are going to get some snow out of the system as we get on into Friday and Saturday. And then next week, looking long range, boy, do we have a nice warm up. I'm really excited to share it with you. We will in this Wednesday night edition of Region Weather Live. And welcome in, everybody. Want to say hi to Jeff, Brandy, Brittany, Sarah, and Cassandra. Good evening to you guys. I hope you're having a good week so far. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wentz. Welcome to the Wednesday evening edition of Region Weather Live. Again, we're going to discuss this winter storm. If you do have travel plans, a lot of spring breakers, probably not going to the eastern seaboard, usually going south, but they're going to get some cold air down there and snow down in Nashville, maybe even Atlanta with this system as well. Locally, not going to be a big deal. It's really not. Remember, we were tracking the track of that storm. That's kind of counterintuitive, tracking the track, but we were. And the whole thing has shifted east. It's been kind of holding that course over the last couple of days. Not much has changed, but again, we're still going to get some snow. So we'll talk about that. We've got two sponsors today that keep the show free. Tiger Plumbing, family-owned business out of the Highland area. Again, they are 30 years plus in the business. If you need a plumber, I just ask you this favor that you go to Tiger Plumbing because they are just fantastic folks. We're going to be working with them for a while. And, family-owned businesses, I think, are big because I'm a family man as well. You know that we've got 3 kids and it's a mess all the time and always a circus. And when you can keep things in the family, it shows that there's lots of love there. And that's what Tiger Plumbing does. So feel free to reach out to them. Also, Grieger's, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Valpo. Great car dealership, one of the best in the region, family owned as well, right? And they've got some great deals on Jeeps right now. If you go to their website, they make car buying fun. It's not, a crazy experience or anything like that. So if you need a car, that's the place to go as well. All right, let's get into the forecast, shall we? I want to say hi to Amy. Hi, Tracy, Nick, and Lola, and Gracie. Absolutely good to see you guys. Derek doing great. Melanie's waiting for spring. And hi there, Sherry, Deanna, Eric, Charity, Sharon, and Sherry and Drew and Vicky. Wow, you guys are just logging in fast here tonight. I can barely keep up with you. All right, so let's get to it. Here's what I want to start with here this evening is you've been accustomed to this when we have winter storms around the region. This is called the Winter Storm Severity Index, right? So this talks about what we always preach, which is impacts. It doesn't matter how much snow you get. It matters how you were impacted by that snow, right? How does it disrupt your life? Well, areas in yellow, this is over the next 3 days from this winter storm that's going to be developing tonight. It'll really come to fruition tomorrow afternoon on into Friday. That's when we'll really see the meat of the system develop. And then Friday night, Saturday, it's full force out towards our east. Areas that are in yellow, those are minor impact areas, right? So those are where you have, an inconvenience to daily life as it's labeled there. Areas that are in orange, that's where you have some pretty big disruptions and you're expecting some bad travel, right? Areas in red, which there's not many of them, but there is a little pocket there as being predicted in areas of Missouri and Kansas. Those are where you have major impacts. So power outages, just don't travel, bad times, right? Areas that you see in this kind of bluish gray shade, which we are in here in Northwest Indiana, it's labeled as limited impacts, rarely a direct threat to life and property, and typically results in little inconveniences. That's how this system's going to go for us. This is not going to be a doozy of a winter storm for us locally. The bulk of the impacts are going to be out towards the east, but it's going to disrupt travel. And I mean, you go up towards New England, and we're going to have some pretty moderate impacts out there as well. This is going to be a good storm. This really is. It's going to put down over a foot of snow in spots. The wind with this is going to be pretty impressive as well. And the cold air on the backside, I think that's our biggest threat. And by threat, I mean our biggest impact. And that will arrive Friday night and Saturday. We're going to have a taste of January around here, but it doesn't last long this time of year. And that's the good news. So how is this winter storm going to impact us locally? we're going to get a little bit of snow out of it, may have some inconvenience, maybe some slick travel, and we'll put some timeline on that. But overall, this is not going to be a big deal here locally. So let's walk you through time. This is what the models are showing now. They've been in pretty good agreement with how this system evolves. It's a unique one. It's not an area of low pressure that just develops down to the south and rolls through the region or rolls up the east coast. There's a couple different elements to this that make this different than any winter storm that we've had so far this season. There's going to be cold air diving out of Canada along the frontal boundary. And that's going to kick off this little kind of weird, kind of floating area of snow out in the plain states. At the same time, there's energy coming out of the Four Corners region in the desert southwest. That energy is going to be the real low pressure that organizes all this and swings it up the east coast. It's also going to be what adds the Gulf of Mexico moisture. But until then, we have this little floating area of some snow. And again, it's going to add up for areas of Missouri and Kansas. It's this area along the frontal boundary that we're going to watch come into the region. And this all happens tomorrow evening. So tomorrow we'll deal with increasing clouds throughout the day. I think snow holds off through the afternoon. It'll probably be late afternoon, especially into the evening hours, that will start to pick up some flakes coming in from the west. And watch how this kind of transpires to the region. It's kind of patchy. There's likely going to be some dry air at the surface at the onset. So we'll probably have some snow on radar tomorrow evening that's not reaching the ground quite yet. We've got to saturate that column of air. And once we do, we'll see snowflakes reaching the ground probably again by tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night, the snow should be steady at times, probably on the light to moderate side. But you notice how this big strip of snow develops all the way from southern Canada back down towards Texas. Whenever you see that on radar or see that in the models, you know you have some kind of big storm system developing, right? Because you have all of the air being impacted on a huge scale across the entire area of the eastern US. And that is all lift in the atmosphere in response to this low pressure. So that's impressive on its own. For us locally, though, we'll develop that snow Thursday evening. It'll probably come down pretty steady Thursday night. And then Friday morning, the timing on when this clears out is still kind of in question, but we'll have lingering snow showers for that Friday morning rush hour. So if we did have to talk impacts at all, there's going to be some snow around for Friday morning rush hour. Your Thursday evening commute's just fine. Thursday night, if you're an overnight worker working the midnight shift, you'll probably encounter some slick streets as that snow's coming down. Temperatures aren't going to be too bad at this point, so road salt's going to work. We'll likely be right around the freezing mark for this. And then Friday morning, for that Friday morning rush hour, it'll probably be snowing outside on and off. I don't think we're going to have anything in terms of snow cover on the roads, side roads, stuff like that. Yeah, but the main thoroughfare should be fine as long as they're treated. We'll be okay. And then as we go throughout the day Friday, you notice how that snow kind of holds. This is now rush hour, 6 a.m. It's starting to wind down, kind of moves down to the south, and eventually it's out of here by midday Friday as it looks right now. At the same time, our storm system's developing down to the south. Everything's already east of us. So our next threat's going to be lake effect snow. The winds, you notice how we've got a real strong northerly wind that develops up in Wisconsin. It's not here yet. Wind is going to be very light Friday throughout the midday and afternoon. It's Friday evening. You notice how those winds kind of align and kind of pull in northwest Indiana. That's feeding into our strong area of low pressure with this storm that's now down in Texas. And that's when we may start dealing with some lake effect that tries to get developed. We'll have a nice northerly fetch. This would impact areas of Lake and Porter County initially. The models aren't saying a lot in terms of lake effect right now. The cold air kind of lags aloft. It won't be here till Friday night. But I would not be surprised if, well, there you go. I didn't see this model run. I was going to say, I would not be surprised if some lake effect developed Friday evening from this. So the models, you can see this is the latest NAM nest, which I clearly have not seen yet. This does develop a pretty widespread area of lake effect snow that would move in here Friday night into Saturday morning. So two different things for us here in the region. We'll have this general snow that moves through Thursday night on through early morning hours into the morning, but lagging in intensity on Friday. So Thursday night, Friday, we get a little window of some snow. We could see maybe an inch or two out of that. Depends on how steady it falls. But temperatures will be near freezing, so it doesn't look to be too impactful. But we could pick up a coating to maybe an inch or two out of that. And then we take a break Friday, and then we come and enter the lake effect scene Friday night on into Saturday. And that's the one that could produce some additional snow. We may see a 1 to 3 out of this. It just depends on how long it lasts. And that would favor most all of northwest Indiana initially. And then as this system pulls by, the wind will turn, and that would favor Porter and LaPorte counties. So let's give you another look at it. I want to show you how much snowfall we're expecting from that first band. I think the models have a good handle on this. More robust snow out in the plains, maybe half a foot or more out in areas of Kansas. They just had mid 80s or low 80s last week. For us locally, you can see, yeah, a couple inches possible at best. I think a lot of us will end up with a coating to maybe an inch, and that's from that initial hit Thursday night through Friday morning. So let's go long term beyond that. I'm going to pick it up here. What you're seeing here is the latest Euro model run, and this one has that snow, that strip of snow that's moving out Thursday morning or Thursday night on into Friday. So Friday, there's your break. Here's our system down to the south getting going now. You can see how everything kind of colliding and coming together. As we go into Friday night, the Euro's not really picking up on much lake effect. It really kicks in Saturday morning. But either way, I do think we're going to have some lake effect around here. Models tend to underdo the lake effect when there's a snowstorm towards our east. There's more moisture being thrown across the lake. You get that cold fetch. You already have moisture in place. There's lots of reason to lift. So I would imagine we do get some lake effect snow Friday night and Saturday. Look at this storm. Heavy snow, Nashville again. Nashville is, they've had more snow than a lot of places to the north and a lot of places down in southern Indiana, which we had that big snow hole in December and January. But they're going to get snow in Nashville, likely some snowflakes in Birmingham, Alabama. I mean, these are places that were literally mid 80s last week. They've got leaves on the trees already down south as well. So this is a decent storm for this time of year with far south reaching capability. All these blue lines you see on there, those are called heights. That's basically how cold we are up in the atmosphere. These are some pretty crazy low heights for this time of year, or bottom line, some pretty cold air aloft that's going to make it really far south. So that's really impressive on its own. And we're going to be in the heart of that. That's why I think we're going to have some lake effect Friday night, Saturday morning. So we've got a core of some very cold air that will be right over northwest Indiana Friday night, Saturday. It'll pull out quickly, but it's going to be on the cold side. As we go through time, if you have travel plans anywhere on the eastern seaboard, anywhere in the Ohio Valley Saturday, I would probably forget about it. This is going to be a pretty heavy snow for many. There's going to be a lot of wind on the backside of it as well. You notice how the Euro keeps our lake effect going as we get into Saturday night. I could see that happening as well. It should shut off pretty quickly, though, Saturday night into Sunday as we get some dry air. We get higher heights coming in. There's warmer air aloft to shut that off. And then we go kind of quiet. There's a little clipper system on Sunday. That should miss us. That may kick off a little bit of lake effect in Michigan, but overall, non-impactful weather, at least to start next week. And then we talk warm-up. There's a really nice warm-up on the backside that we'll show you last here before we answer questions. So let's talk how much snow overall. So I'll show you what the Euro, this is a 12Z run, what it was saying. And again, we could end up with a couple inches locally. You can see the Euro out of this. This is through Sunday, saying, oh, anywhere from a coating up to 3 inches in northwest Indiana. I would agree with that. I think 3 inches would come from the lake effect as well, with an additional 1 to 3 perhaps out in the snow belt. But overall, this isn't going to be a huge snow. And by Sunday, with some sunshine coming back out, we'll probably not see anything on the ground after that if we do get a nice coating of an inch or two, right? Out towards the east, heavier snows, Pennsylvania, down towards Tennessee, you're going to see some pretty decent snowfall totals. And then it ramps up in New England as well with a wide swath of a foot of snow expected out there. Okay, you guys want the good news now? Because I really want to share the good news with you. Take a look at temperatures next week, all right? The models are really agreeing with a nice warm-up, which I like to see. Normally, if we see a huge temperature swing next week and the models aren't lining up, it's not worth mentioning, but they're lining up pretty well on this. So these are your daytime highs. Don't forget, it's going to be pretty windy on Saturday, so the wind chill value is going to be pretty low. We're going to wake up Saturday morning probably in the teens, and then by afternoon, these are your projected highs on Saturday. So we're talking low 20s at best. I would probably opt to go mid 20s on that, just given, it's almost spring, but still cold day on Saturday, right? Wind chills will be in the teens for much of the day. And then watch this warm up. So we have a nice rebound. This is Sunday. We'll probably be up in the upper 40s to near 50, like that, right? I love March. We're coming out of it. And then on Monday, you can see we still have a nice warm up. So maybe mid to upper 50s to near 60 on Monday. How does that sound, right? But that's nothing. That is nothing. We get a little cooler air in here midweek. So here's your Tuesday. We have a wind off the lake, so that'll drop our temps in the 30s and 40s on Tuesday. And again, this could change, but temperatures don't change a whole lot. We can look at trends. And then this is Wednesday. Notice the warmth building out in the plains. We're somewhere in the low 50s, so not incredible. And then Thursday, it's here. Look at this warm up. There's going to be a low pressure off towards the west that's going to produce all rain with this next round. This would be late next week. But all indication is we're going to have temperatures upper 60s, maybe low 70s around here next Thursday. That happens to coincide with something called St. Patrick's Day. So for all those of you that are heading out to celebrate your Irish heritage, it looks nice. It really does. We should be mainly dry as well as of right now. And then we hold on to some warmth for one more day on Friday. That will come with a frontal boundary, though. You notice something's going on because we've got 60s here and then it's 40s and 30s off towards the west. Likely some snow over there, but that snow should stay away from us from that system. And then next weekend we turn a little bit colder on the backside of that system. But that's a pretty nice warm up, right? That's just exactly what we see and what we want to see and what we're probably going to see more of over the next couple of weeks. If all things go well, we'll start to warm things up. All right. So we'd be happy to answer your questions and we'll get you on your way here on this Wednesday evening. I hope you guys are all doing well. Again, I appreciate your support as always. I'm just overwhelmed by how awesome you all are in terms of the support, the comments, the great questions that you ask. I just want you to know that. All right. Cassandra says, Spring, I am ready for you. Cassandra, you're not the only one at all that is in that boat. Boy, I'm just itching for spring even more now, especially after that taste we had last week. Ann says, thanks for all you do, Matt. Looking like my daughter should plan her drive to Pittsburgh on Sunday instead of Saturday. Yes, Ann, definitely. Yeah, I would definitely do that. If she can't leave Thursday, I would say let's definitely do that. Plan for a Sunday trip for sure. All right. I get Kevin in his usual sports comment. Kevin, let me try to answer this for you. Thanks for all your weather updates. The Denver Broncos trading for Russell Wilson. They gave up a lot of talent for sure, but they've got, a quarterback. They're a good team. Denver's going to be good this year. I think they're going to end up this next season. They're going to get in the playoffs for sure, right? I don't know how far they're going to get with the experience level. Obviously, Russell Wilson's been kind of hard pressed in the playoffs last couple of years to get in. So we'll see. I do think I don't think there's Super Bowl contention, Kevin, but I do think there's an 80% chance that they make the playoffs this year. So that's your weather terminology being thrown into sports. And then just a bunch of people just being real nice to each other. I see a lot of love going in there. Danielle says hubby has to drive to Memphis. Late Thursday, early Friday, then return late Friday, early Saturday. So in the thick of it then. Yeah, so gosh, yeah, that's going to be in the thick of it for them. Memphis is going to get some snow out of this. For them, the problem is they don't have the snow removal tools like we have, the road salt and all of that. They've had some pretty warm temperatures lately, so that may help them. But here you go. So this is, they're a little bit behind on the snow. So this is Friday, Memphis right in here. Memphis actually doesn't start getting snow until it looks like late Friday. So Friday night is when they're going to get it in Memphis, and then Saturday morning, and then it's out of there. The Thursday, early Friday looks okay for Memphis, Danielle. It's that late Friday, early Saturday that's going to be in the thick of it. Yeah, I think you called that. But that's the time frame I'd be concerned with. And it's not just going to be there. Obviously, this stretches into Kentucky. You can see as that storm moves through, it goes all the way up into the Evansville area. So that's going to be a pretty rough commute if he's doing Friday night. By Saturday midday, Saturday afternoon, things should be improving pretty quickly with that March sunshine. So it looks like it'll be coming out for most people after the system. There's not a lot of cloud cover behind this. We'll be snowing for the commute home around 5 tomorrow. Sharon, I don't think so. I think on radar, we're going to be looking at some snow off towards the west, but I don't think it'll be here yet. It's got to saturate the air as well. We've got some dry air here, so the snowflakes actually have to fall into it, evaporate, and that kind of saturates that part. More snowflakes have to fall, saturate that part before they actually reach the ground. So I don't think we'll have snow around 5. If we do, if the system speeds up, because it is kind of weird how it moves in. It's kind of blobby. So, worst case scenario, we have a blob that actually blows up on the region. I don't think it's going to be too impactful. So that evening rush hour tomorrow looks okay. Louis, you're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I hope to provide is good information for you. Let's not waste time, with flashy things or fireworks or flames coming out the side saying winter storm. Okay. Leanna, senior class trip to Washington, D.C. I love that. Saturday evening. Well, Saturday evening's fine here. It's just a little different on the East Coast. Good news, it should be moving out Saturday evening, right? The whole system should be sliding even out the East Coast. Bad news is there's going to be a lot of residual effects. In terms of DC, though, I feel like they are going to be more on the rainy side, as this storm's going to be a little bit further inland. Let me look for you real quick. This is a matter of I didn't study DC's forecast, and I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So here we go. So let's get back to here's your Saturday. So here's Saturday. Yeah, DC's getting snow. Okay, well, they start rain. There you go. But then, yeah, they turn over to snow in DC Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. I don't think they're going to get a ton, though, but it's going to be coming down pretty good Saturday evening before it all ends. In terms of the latest Euro for DC, let's see. My guess would be 2 to 4-ish. Yeah, 2 to 4-ish. There's a fine line, but yeah, they're going to get a good coating there. But you look at what you're going through to get there. I mean, hopefully you're not driving, but if it's a flight, you should be okay. But yeah, DC won't be a huge impact from this. Even Boston, New York City aren't going to have a huge impact. This is going to be an inland storm for them as it rolls up the East Coast. Jose says, "Man, with that warm up coming, we need the." Yeah, you're telling me. Come on, baseball, figure it out. How many years in a row have we had some kind of disruption, or how many of the last 10? Let's just say that. I agree. These warm-ups make you think baseball. I always watch baseball first before it warms up, so you're watching usually spring training, but that just warms you up just watching baseball. Even if it's like a 40-degree game, in Chicago, it's still nice to watch. I totally agree with you. Diana, absolutely welcome for sure. Yeah, that warm up is going to be great. Yeah, and Deanna, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, Saturday night, spring forward. I always like to say, let your clocks that are all automated do their thing and automatically switch forward. So we'll see. Kelly going to Cincinnati Saturday to visit granddaughter. Think roads will be okay Saturday and coming home Sunday. Coming home Sunday, Kelly, no problem. Going there Saturday, it's going to be tricky. Cincinnati's not going to get a ton of snow, but they're still going to get some snow, and that's going to fall Friday night, Saturday. So here's how much snow is going to fall. This is Friday night, Saturday, so 2 to 4 inches down there. You'll likely have some slick travel, but it's going to be manageable. It's not going to be something that's crazy for sure. Mikey, for LaPorte, buddy, that's okay that you joined late. So for LaPorte, all of Northwest Indiana is in this together. We're going to get a little window of snow that arrives late tomorrow, so probably tomorrow evening. That will last through probably Friday morning sometime, and maybe 1 to 2 inches out of that. I think a lot of us will just end up with a coating. But again, 1 to 2 inches possible. It'll likely be a non-impactful snow Friday morning for that commute. And then we kind of go quiet Friday afternoon as this big winter storm develops. Then we're going to turn to some lake effect snow beyond that. That lake effect, I think, will kick in Friday night into Saturday. And we could see some additional snow, maybe a couple additional inches, especially for you out in LaPorte. And that would be a Friday night, Saturday thing. Both of them, I think, will be very manageable snows. This is nothing that we can't handle for sure. So Eric, I think you joined late too, and that's okay. I hope that answers your question. Lou, you don't have to always trust my forecast. Never trust a meteorologist, but we try for sure. Becky says, I just started a new driving job. How much is projected in LaPorte? I work tomorrow, Friday, Sunday. Hopefully that helped answer you too, Becky. Again, I think maybe a 1 to 2 max out of this first band, and that comes through, and then maybe another 1 to 3 lake effect. We'll have to keep an eye on our lake effect. It's pretty sneaky. This is not showing up in a lot of the models, and I think it will start to show up tomorrow, but something we'll have to watch for sure. Christina, if you're driving to Indy on Friday, you are going to counter some snow because that snow moves down to the south. You're looking at totals being projected by the Euro here. It's not much. I mean, we're talking, 1 to 4 inches max across Northwest Indiana down towards central Indiana. So it's not going to be a huge impact, but you probably are going to have some snow flying around. Eric, I hope so too. Bloomington doesn't look to get hit too bad, so it should be okay. But yeah, it doesn't take much. I want everyone to hear that because more accidents occur when there's 1 to 2 inches or 2 inches or less on the roads versus a big winter storm when you have 8 to 12 inches. Just keep that in mind. It's the slick travel where you have just a little coating to maybe a couple inches that, some drivers, none of you, of course, but some drivers, get a little arrogant saying, the road's fine. And then it's slick. And then, there's accidents. So just keep in mind, just because we're not going to get a lot of snow from this, we could have some periods of some tricky travel. You might need to take it slow, but again, it's going to be completely manageable. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that helps. I think I got all the questions there. Again, if you missed this, if you're just tuning in, you can go back and rewatch. This will get posted on our Facebook page at Region Weather, and you can slide it back and forth for the map that you're looking for. Again, we do a nice synopsis at the beginning that hopefully covers everything, and then we try to fill in the blanks after that. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. All right. Have a wonderful Wednesday evening. It is almost the weekend. We've got 2 more days. We can do it. A little bit of snow around here. We're going to keep you updated throughout the whole event. So don't worry about that. We got you covered. And then big warm up next week. I know you're all excited. I certainly am too. Okay. Oh, a couple other questions as well. Oh, Travis, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you so much. Really do. Louis asked a great question. For the big question, is it going to be plowable coming from a snowplow driver? We have a lot of snowplow drivers with Region Weather. Louis, I don't think so. I think you plow. Don't you need 3 to plow, or is it 2 to plow? Because if it's 2, it could be kind of pushable. Let's put it that. I really don't think this is going to be a plowable snow in Northwest Indiana, though. I think we stay on the lighter side of that for sure. Okay. All right. Sherry, you're welcome. Barbara, you're welcome. Brent, hey, buddy. Yeah, you're welcome as well. Certainly appreciate you guys. All right. Get some rest tonight. Sleep is super important. Tart cherry juice also helps that. They are not a sponsor of the show, but tart cherry juice is really good stuff. So get some tart cherry juice. Have a nice sleep tonight. Wake up tomorrow, refresh. Let's finish this week. Finish this week off. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks.